Hey fellas, happy Boxing Day to you all. Hope you all had a nice Christmas, all things considered. So, I have often done around this time of year. Here, I'll detail all my experience with my Nintendo Switch now that it's been 3 years since I've owned it. So, I am not going to be going over every single game that's come out this year, but I will be going over my personal highlights of the system, ones I'm still playing, and new games I join my rotation. So, let's get it started. Okay, so much as I had hoped, when I got my Stimmy earlier this year, here I managed to get both Super Mario Odyssey and Hyrule Age of Calamity. Also got Pikmin 3 Deluxe later on. So definitely all games were enjoyed, and I'm well aware of the Mario situation, which hence why I am still keeping Super Mario 3D All Stars, and also somewhere related with Fire Emblem, keeping that on my secret no matter how much space I need. But as I said before, I usually don't base my decisions on what leaves, I base my decision on what's coming here. I mean, it's not quite, say, I didn't see that days like losing Mario so much as gaining Mega Godzilla, as I mentioned numerous times before. As for new games, I just say like the first one that came out this year specifically, he was well worth the wait after 22 years. New Pokemon Snap, which was a worthy successor to the original Nintendo 64 Classic, and I'll be coming back to that later. Selling over 2 million units so far, and still not even close to clearing all the objectives on it. I'm still think I'll definitely have fun with that well into 2022. All things considered, yeah. And it was one of several Pokemon titles that released this year. And all things considered, I am enjoying Brilliant Insane Pearl still so far as well, warts and all, and I totally called it about how the visuals not affecting the sales at all. Yeah. Okay, so Pokemon Cafe Remix ended up being pretty decent. And as for the much talked about Pokemon Unite, I always think that even as someone whose knowledge of MOBA is so limited that could basically fit on the back of a cocktail napkin, it's decent, but the monetization is, I'll admit, the sticker shock is very much well justified. To a point where, for the cost of one, I repeat, one premium skin, I could get one or several other games in the eShop. So, I think I'll show you how some of those next. Okay, so right there, in between Pokemon Shield and Remix, Cruisin' Blast. I may not have mentioned this before. I might have. I'm a big fan of Cruisin'. So when I found out now this game was coming to Switch, I was quite pleased to hear that. Another title. I've been wanting that's based by indie game previous year, Hades. Following up on the scene developers Bastion, this tale of Greek mythology, he is definitely well worth your time and money if you're a fan of the developer's previous work and Greek mythology, like I am. Burnout Paradise Remastered, I love that game on previous systems, so it actually plays pretty well this Switch, I'll admit. Of course, still on to Splatoon 2, who and Ninjala working on a new collab. Smash, the remainder of the past came out this year. Here with, even though Rex and Pyro ones I have mixed feelings towards, as the other characters made up for it, in the case of Kazuya being my favorite of the second half of the past, arguably, and Sora being actually a really good one for them to go out on. I mean, I think it's okay to end on this game as well. I mean, I especially wouldn't mind trying other platform brawlers like Nick All-Star Brawl and Multiversus either. I mean, and Animal Crossing, New Horizons, even though I haven't played Ash one as I did in the early days, I still log in once a day. I just got more turnips to try and tell this week. And the Happy Home Paradise expansion has been quite lucrative, I would say. Then, of course, there's also the addition of both the Sega Genesis and Nintendo 64 Online to Nintendo Switch Online. Though I once again submit the sticker shock a lot of you felt when the price point was down to the expansion pack is justified, but I was pleased with Stealth Drop, in addition to Paper Mario, of 5 other Genesis games. Personal favorite of ones they included in this one being ToeJam and Earl. Very underrated titles, how strange it is, and also the funk music, which actually was inspired by George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. And even though and also on top of Banjo-Kazooie coming next month, there's continues to more. I mean, and so far between Paper Mario already being part of the sizzle reel as well as these 5 Genesis games I just dropped, so far the data mines this leak has been accurate even if someone doesn't put as much stock in them as others. Anyway, that's about all I got to say for now for the highlights. And oh, one more. That's definitely my favorite titles of the year. Metroid Dread. This finale to the Songs of Metroid storyline is a worthy way to celebrate the years of the franchise, and easily my favorite 2D installment in the series since Super Metroid. Right, I mean, hey then. So, tomorrow is a video I've been wanting to do all basically the entire year. So wait and see what it is. So, that'll be all for now. Later.